what package should you pitch as a photographer, content creator, videographer in 2023? Now, there's a ton of options out there, obviously, from like organic social packages, brand video, lifestyle photography, product photography, destination photography. So the list goes on and on. But most people don't seem to realize this because everybody's pitching things like, hey, let me take a picture of your product in this cool location. Or, hey, let me show you a brand video, which I don't really even know what that means. Or, hey, I'm going to Bali next month. Let me take your candle and like, snap a picture like this. And that's what people are pitching. And even the worst part is everyone's sending the same reach out script, which I don't know if somebody posted this or what, but most people are just like, hey, love the brand, would love to work with you guys. I'm heading to Bali next month and we can take some dope pictures with your backpack. Let's collab. I don't know where people got that from, but everybody is sending the same thing. And on top of that, they're sending it to the same like 100 brands or 200 brands because I guess we don't realize that there's an infinite amount of brands that are basically popping up every single day that need marketing content. So we don't just have to reach out to Movement watches or whatever. Like we can expand and do other things, but most people don't realize that. So these same 100, 200 brands are receiving the same DM or a version of the same DM every single day. And people wonder why they send 50 messages that are just copy paste to all these different brands and they haven't gotten any good positive responses. That's why, because you're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. So if you're trying to build a business, the easiest way to build a business that is successful is to do something different that everyone else is doing. And if you are doing the same thing everyone is doing, then you're not going to get the good results. So if you are trying to build a business in content creation, which I'm assuming you are because you're watching this video, then the easiest way to do that is to be different than what everyone else is doing. And the easiest way to be different than what everyone else is doing to make a good first impression through how you actually pitch your services. Everyone's essentially doing the same thing, right? We're taking pictures, we're shooting videos. That's what we're doing. But it's how you position it that makes all the difference. So before I talk about the first offer that I would do, I first have to define what an offer actually is because there's a lot of confusion out there. So an offer is not what you do, but rather how you position what you do or how you market what you do. So everybody essentially does the same service of photo, video, whatever, but it's just how you position it that's different. So there's a difference between reaching out to a hotel and saying, hey, I love the hotel. I'd love to take some pictures of it and it'll be super cool. That's a way you could do it. So that's a way that you could position your offer to shoot for a hotel. But the better way of doing it would be to reach out to the hotel and say, hey, I want to create some high value marketing assets for you that when the customer or potential customer sees these assets, they get a immediate emotional response in a sense of like, oh, I want to be there. And whenever they feel that, they associate it with your brand. So then when they book a trip to Hawaii, they're like, okay, yeah, of course I'm going to book with the Four Seasons because like that made me feel really awesome when I saw that photo and I felt like I was part of it and I want to be part of that. That's how you position it because one, you're like, I can take some photos. The second one is I am your marketing assistant that's helping create emotional responses for your clients and helping you get a better ROI, which we are going to be talking about here very, very shortly. So I hope that makes sense. So the last thing is that both of these offers that I'm about to talk about can be pitched as a one-off, but even better, they can be pitched as a multi-month retainer where you're essentially getting paid a salary every single month that you produce this content. Without any further ado, let's jump into offer number one. Offer number one is product lifestyle photography. And I know you probably just heard that and you're like, dude, I just wasted my time. Like I've heard that before. That's not anything new. And you'd be correct. It's not anything new, but most people are completely pitching this the wrong way. Let me tell you why. So for example, let's say that we want to work with a camera backpack brand, and this is a higher value, maybe say they're selling it for $400 or something. What we could do is we could reach out to them on Instagram and we could be like, hey, I want to take some photos of your backpack. I'm going on a hike over here in Hawaii. It'll be super cool. Dope pictures. You'll love it. And that's a way that you could definitely position it. The other way, probably the better way to position it is say, hey, I'd love to create some marketing content for you guys that positions your backpack as the premier option for travel photographers, showcasing its durability, its versatility, and its style. So what that does is not only positions you as a marketing expert, but also shows that you actually have a deep understanding of what their brand is, what their values are, and who they're trying to market to. They're marketing towards travel photographers, and they're trying to market the versatility, the durability, and the style that it can go with all kinds of different outfits. So instead of just taking pictures, we're actually promoting that we can help them with their marketing content and actually be a partner that way. So I know you probably just heard that and you're like, okay, well, that's cool and all, but Instagram doesn't care about photos anymore. Like the algorithm is trash. Post a photo, it gets barely any engagement, and you'd be right. That's totally the truth. But posting photos on Instagram is not the only reason to have a picture. Many brands need pictures for their website, for ads, for any kind of publication they have, or it could even be for organic social. But the reason that they have it is not necessarily for engagement, but more so for brand position. Because say you have this $400 backpack and you're just posting amateur photos that are taken on an iPhone of the backpack and just not really well done. And there's a place for UGC, don't get me wrong, but that's probably not the place for it. So you have that versus professional photography that showcases a lifestyle that creates a desire, that creates a story that somebody wants to be immersed in, then there's a big difference in terms of the positioning of the brand, because they seem higher value and somebody's more willing to pay that $400 price tag because they feel like they're a part of something that is high quality. That's why luxury brands like Gucci work, why people are willing to spend obnoxious amounts of money to have something from that brand. It's not because it's significantly better quality, it's because they feel something when they wear it, or they feel like they're part of something. Now, to take that even a step further, you can go on sites like Amazon and look at all the e-com brands that are on Amazon, and most of them will only have white background product photos. They won't really have any lifestyle photos. You can even go on random brand websites and they won't really have any lifestyle product photos. And the reason this is a huge opportunity for you is because lifestyle photos, or specifically photos with a human element, sell significantly better than product only photos. And a lot of brands don't have that. And I'm not just saying that, it's actually a study. This is a study that was done by Instagram ads. And it says, according to a study by Instagram ads, ads with images featuring people tend to perform better than those without. In fact, the study found that ads with people in them had a 25% higher ad recall and a 29% higher purchase intent than those ads that did not have a human element in them. Meaning that the people that saw the ad with the person in it had a 25% higher chance of remembering that ad, the ad recall, and they also had a 30% higher chance of actually purchasing the product. So by just implementing that one trick, you are basically giving free money to the brand, and you can position this offer, this lifestyle photography, that way. So instead of, hey, I can go take some pictures of your backpack, you can say, hey, you guys don't have any products with people in them, and according to Instagram, this isn't me, this is Instagram talking, photos that have a human element in them have a 30% higher chance of making sales. So by not doing this, it's kind of like a no-brainer. You should be doing this. Like, it doesn't even make sense that you're not. So ultimately, our goal here is not just to take still product photos, but to take photos that take the viewer on a adventure, that immerse them in a story, that create desire and ultimately drive emotion. Okay, so at this point, if you got a ton of value out of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. It helps me out a lot and helps other content creators like you get this information so that we can better the industry. Okay, so offer number 2 is a short form video offer. And I know you're probably thinking that this isn't revolutionary either, that everybody has been saying that, because if you don't live under a rock, you probably know that shorts, reels, TikTok, all that stuff is all the rage these days, and you would be correct. But again, we're positioning it in a different way. And by the way, if you're a photographer and you're tuning out at this point, I'd highly recommend you not to tune out, because actually you have more than qualified to be able to do this, and I would highly recommend that you do this offer because it'll just make you far more versatile. So let's take the example of the camera backpack again. We could just pitch that as, hey, I'm gonna make you some TikTok videos that you can throw on your page. So we could definitely pitch it that way. Or we could say, I'm gonna create a consistent flow of content marketing assets for your brand that you can then use to find the best performing organic videos in a low risk environment and use as paid ads. So let me explain why this is so powerful. Brands are gonna pay somebody to create ads for them, whether it's an ad agency or an individual creator, doesn't really matter. They're gonna pay somebody to create ads, and in most cases, they don't actually know that those ads are gonna perform well at all. They might, but they also might not. So they're risking money just to figure out if an ad will convert well. So what your offer does, and how I just positioned it, will allow brands to have a consistent flow of organic content, meaning 20, 30 videos a month maybe, but they can also take a look holistically at all the videos that are posted and see which ones did the best organically, and then transition those into paid ads, either by boosting them, or maybe they just like switch out a hook or something like that. But they already know it does well, so they don't have to waste the ad spend just figuring out if a video does well, because they already know it does well, and they can just boost it. So again, you're basically giving free money to a brand in this case. So to take this a step further, if you just do a search on like Facebook Ad Manager, you'll find that most brands are primarily pushing video as their main advertising source. And depending on the brand, it could be kind of UGC style, where it's just iPhone. Like, here's an example of a video that I did that's been running for the last year that is strictly shot on an iPhone, not high production value at all, but does very well for the brand. I've done other examples where it's supposed to look high production value, and it's supposed to look like they hired a production team to do it, and that's been running for the last 6 months, and it does very well for the brand as well. So it just depends on who the brand is trying to target and what the message is that they have. But you can definitely get away with a lot of brands just shooting on your iPhone, and it's super easy. Okay, so now that we know the 2 offers that I would pitch and I'm currently pitching, and you can basically copy them for yourself, then the next question is, how do you actually pitch them? Because we know the positioning, we know the offer, but how do you actually pitch this? So what I would do in this case is I would pitch each of these as a 1-month partnership for X amount of content. So say you're doing the short form video content, you do 20 videos a month for 1 month, no commitment after that or anything. Then if they like the product that you produced and they're getting good results, whatever, they can extend that partnership to be 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever you want to sign the contract is. So you're essentially getting recurring payments on retainer every single month. It's almost like a salary. Now, to take that even a step further, what you can do is tag on what's called a performance fee. So if you're doing those 20 videos a month and they pick out one of them that did really well organically, and they're like, hey, we want to run this as an ad, then you can tag on a 10, 15% performance fee, meaning if that ad generates over its lifetime, say $100,000, you're making $15,000 off of that $100,000 revenue generated, basically with zero extra work for you. And when you do this, you can just do it every time they want to run ads, and it can become a really good source of passive income for you. So to simplify it, just pitch a 1-month partnership. If it does well, there's the option to make it a retainer, and there's also the performance fee and the ability to run those videos as ads as additional add-on for them. So those are the 2 offers that I would pitch if I were you. If you're interested in going further into this and thinking about like the psychology of like how do you even get to the positioning that I talked about, then go ahead and check the link in the description below to schedule a free 0 to 6 figure content audit with me, where we'll talk about some steps that you can take to actually make that happen for you and start pitching projects that actually get accepted and start getting paid to create. That's the whole goal here. So if you're interested, go ahead and check the link in the description below, and I'd love to chat with you. Also, if you got a ton of value out of this video and you're not already, be sure to subscribe, because we're posting videos like this every single week. But even if you don't, I'm going to be dropping videos every single week, and maybe at some point you'll decide to subscribe. But even if you don't subscribe, I will see you in the next one.